All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's ask some questions to you and what you think. Do you have time to change your life? Do you have time to change your life? I mean, look at your busy day. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Pacific Standard Time. What does that mean? You went through the day, you got up early today, your wife, your son, your daughter, your dogs, your cat, and your cat, and your fish too? What happened? You've been fighting through the day. Are you tired? You're probably exhausted. Okay? I'll bet you want to change your life, but you don't know how. But you have time to listen and learn. It's tablet time. Tablet time is very simple. I'd like to change your life if you allow me to, but you need to listen and learn and follow through. Building a legacy. What does that mean? We're going to talk about legacy. We're going to talk about how to repackage your life. Would that be okay? If we package your mind way a little bit? Let's put it this way. You had your chance. You're 35 to 75 years old, and I think you're disappointed. I bet you someone in your life, friends, family, knocked you down, kind of got in your way, and you basically been back to that routine of getting a job. You know, having a job sometimes is fun and exciting. Sometimes jobs aren't any fun. So today we're going to talk about the car wash, the laundromat, all right? And what do you get to do? The storage units, all the things we did over the years. You see, a long time ago, I wrote books on laundromats, dry cleaning, car washes, and even payphones and printing companies. That was kind of fun. See, I like making money to pay the bills. So the goal, we have some choices today. It's very simple. I'd like you to take a picture of that. I'd like you to think about a couple of things today. What if I could change your life? What if I could change your life? Okay? What if I could give you rules and tools and I would hold your hand and do the work for you and with you at the same time? In other words, that way you just follow the bouncing ball a little bit. So again, what are we going to do today? We're going to have some fun. That's your future. You don't know it, but it is. See, your whole goal in life is to get a bunch of this. And you think it's even money. It's not money. Hasn't been money for a long, long time. And what is we to do? This is a Federal Reserve note. It's a legal tender. That's what it is. So we have some choices today. Because you want a lot of that, right? We got a paycheck years ago. What happened? All right, you lost your money. Well, where's the money? Where's the money? You got your paycheck, that first job, you're going, where's my money? You went to the HR department, human resources, personnel. You asked, where's my money? They said, well, the IRS gets their cut, you get the leftover. The IRS gets their cut, you get the leftover? What does that mean? So how do rich and famous people do this? Have you ever been curious? That's what I was as a little kid. I want to find out how they got the money. Corporations receive money. They don't pay taxes until they have leftover. That offsets taxes. Growing a business, you're creating debt. They pay tax if there's leftover. We pay tax and we get the leftover. Is there a big difference? Yeah. So we could actually play the game. Let's understand. You drove by the Wendy's restaurant just the other day. Did you go inside? What'd you ask for the owner? Go in there, Wendy's, and hey, is the owner here? I want to talk to them. What owner? It's a corporation, an entity. It's a store number. That's a Wendy's location run by a management company. Why don't you own it? That's what I've said to me as a kid. You see, since you were 4, probably 5 years old, and you paid attention, you've been driving past the Wendy's restaurant, the storage unit, the laundromats, and all these things, even a Jack in the Box. It's still there. I call it Boeing and steady. Boeing and steady. We got the chance to play the game to win. What does this mean? All you know is I'm a guy online 6 days a week to hold your hand and ask you your questions. For the last 49 years, in person or online. I always wanted to change the world. And I always felt if I'm not there to be accessible for you, you're going to get stuck. And I don't like that. I think that sucks. Anyway, what happens here is like this building. I turned it into a $100 million building. Lamborghini. Ooh, we got to have one of those. All right, got to get one of these Lamborghinis. Got to get a key. See, what happens is you listen to all the social media, you can only write off so much, blah, 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 blah. Well, I think that's kind of dumb. I think the corporation and division process should take over the car and have a company car to write it all off versus trying to write off a little mileage here. It's kind of silly. But again, what do we have to do? Now, I am the godfather of credit. What does that mean? I built $60 billion of credit over the years, helping people, and rich and famous people, and normal people as well. So it's like, this is about 42 million. Yeah, it's heavy. We got about 62 million of this to play with. But again, we don't jack it up and screw it up. That gives us the ability to finance a business, offset the taxes, and 99% of the credit doesn't show up on my personal file anyway. See, what happens when most people start a business, they bring the pain home because they don't really know what they're doing anyway. They listen to their friends and family. And they go blah, 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 blah. Today, I'll say don't take pictures or recording in the beginning, please. You're wasting your film. You're wasting your camera. You're wasting the click, click, click. So what do we get to do? Okay. I receive and I accomplish my goals. 100% I accomplish the goals. I don't stop till I do. I remember being up almost 7 days straight because I had to figure something out. I didn't want to sleep. I get possessed. I want to accomplish it. I got to figure it out. It drove me nuts. When I was a little kid, I taught myself how to read it. Mrs. Ho read the book. I memorized the book. Simple. I memorized all the words. I couldn't spell them, but I memorized the words. I kind of screwed the way I learned how to spell. You see, what I did is I got to learn that I can memorize almost everything. All right, she told me I was retarded because I can memorize everything. Well, I thought she was stupid, in my opinion. Here's me, 1981. Now, I kicked the door gym at 10, the basketball hoop at 14, and there's me at 13 feet flying in the air. Only 2 steps and up and away. It's in 1981 at the YMCA at El Toro Marine Base. We get to play. So I like goodies. You like goodies? You see, the problem you have is you're trying to create money to pay your bills, have leftover. The American dream is pay all the bills and have the leftover and feel comfortable and be able to relax. When's the last time you got to relax? You're not worried about this or that. So goodies. I learned the hard way. I'm 8.5 years old. I remember to this day. I can close my eyes and see it again and again. I worked my tail off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I sold seeds, clackers, and I mowed yards, front and back. I came home with my $52. I was proud of myself. The devil's wife grabbed my money, saying, "You're paying rent." I'm paying what? Library time, savings bonds, I bonds, double E bonds. Ever since then, I put every goodie in a division. Let's go to the board. See, I believe you need to learn how to play the game to win. This means you have to understand. Let's pretend here's you, okay? And let's pretend you're married or have your partner of life. There's another you. If you get married, then you have one. God made you one. But then you have to pay tax because there's a marriage penalty. Congratulations, you get to pay tax on a marriage penalty. For being married, you're punished on more taxes. That kind of sucks. Okay, now let's say we want to buy that house, okay? We want to buy the car registered under lien holder. Now the bottom line, your credit should be separate. You should have 3 divisions of you. Let's put 3 divisions of you, okay? Let's understand what you're allowed to do that you never paid attention to. But we can teach you how to play the game to win if you want to, but it's up to you. So let's think about division of ourselves, okay? If you get a car and you buy it in your name, all right, what happens if they get a bumpity bump and they sue you, they're going to take it away and you're getting a lawsuit in the court. That's why you have these, well, I'm sorry, I call them bloodsucker attorneys everywhere. We're going to sue everybody. If you don't plan the problem, you're going to get your assets kicked. So if we're going to build a legacy, we got to protect our assets because someone's trying to take it away. So what do we get to do? We're going to create a line of defense. You're going to draw a line here. This line is very important to all of us. And of course, that pen has to go out of ink. That's okay. Look, you have a backup and a backup. Okay, so let's go here. Now, let's think about the banks, okay? Let's just write down banks right here. They're bankrupting 21,000 locations right now. Banks. You can look at U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, all of them bankrupting locations. Now, they have what's called a branch. It's a branch number, okay? A branch number. What happens is we have to realize there's a couple things in life. The moment we were born, okay, from 71 on, we had to sign an SS5 form, but we're a baby, so mommy had to do it for us. We're bonded up to 35 million apiece. If you're born before 71, that means you did it at 14 to 16 years old, and you went to the SSN department, which is basically what? Social administration. You filled out a form called SS5, you didn't pay attention. I don't know why you didn't, but you should have. Let's pretend you're going to do exactly what I want you to do. IRS right here. IRS. Okay. Now the banks are doing one thing. Okay. They signed a 100-year lease. So under the Federal Protection Act, they're bankrupting each location. They bankrupt the location. Okay. They keep the assets and write off on their taxes. See, banks and grocery stores and cities have what's called the line of defense. You never did it because you didn't understand about basically bringing the pain home. But it's a choice, so understand. If you were to look at bankruptcy today, this is the code, look it on Google or something, you would see you could bankrupt SSN, SS4, okay? All right, but again, SSN, we only get one. SS4, we get one for each entity division process, but it's up to you. So let's understand. So the bank here under their umbrella, all right, they're basically the bank and the IRS are doing tax balancing. You could have did tax balancing as well, so could your spouse. But instead, you like being a duck and a sheep, okay? Sorry, I believe that's to be true. Now, if we went to the Social Administration, we did an SS5 form equals SSN equals 1040 tax return. That's what you did. Unfortunately, the system in the world doesn't want to teach you this. I've been teaching this for 49 years to learn how it works, and it works for me and for you. So, okay. Now, you could file joint tax returns or separate, and that's your problem. And that's your solution. SS4, write it down, and write down employer, okay, employer, entity, or you. SS4, okay? Here's a form that the IRS created, public record, as a universal form. Now, your SSN, it says in the back of the card for most of us, do not laminate, don't use for ID purposes, and don't carry with you. But you still do it anyway, because you don't pay attention. Back in the 70s and 80s, we got credit cards in the mail without applying for corporations and people all the time. It just came in the mail, because they didn't have to use these numbers that we do today. Okay, so if we create a line of defense, now let's understand. All right, we have 50 what? States. That means we have 50 corporations. All right, cities are corporations as well. So, the United States of America Incorporated, they decided to have corporations for every state and every city. Supreme Court said a corporation is a legal person. Now, I'm not here to give you legal advice or anything else. I just want you to understand what's public record. You can check it out for yourself, because every goodie is a division. The car today. If you're the registered owner of a car, you're the registered owner here. That means in a bumpity bump at Sam's Club, they're going to sue you, and now you're in a lawsuit. If the car was owned by husband and wife, that's called stupid. Now they sue both of you. You see, we got to realize one thing, okay? All right, there's a marriage penalty to be married. It costs more tax. If we don't separate ourselves for liability, when I get sued, she gets sued, I get sued. So again, what do we have to understand? How to play the game to win. We're trying to win. So the registered owner of a car should never be a person. It should be a division, okay? A division. The lien holder, they never sue the bank, do they? So if we do this correctly for a car or a house, it's like when you buy a house. It is escrow, close, homestead, trust, but you don't know what a homestead is, most of you. You never put an irrevocable trust. Those should have been done before you actually got keys to the house. That real estate agent and that broker that go to dinner all the time, rip you off anyway, that's what they do, because they're best friends. Okay, now what we're going to do is build a legacy. Is that okay? Let's pretend you're going to listen to me 100%. Let's write down LLC, LLP, okay, S Corp, C Corp, nonprofit, and a PC, okay? These are the type of corporations you can pick. I don't really care what you have if you have one. What I care is that you have one. It doesn't matter what type, because no matter what corporation you have today, when they sue it, they sue you anyway, and I'll prove my point. Your name is on Secretary of State's website. It's right there. It's right there. So again, when you're sued, you're kind of screwed up. If everything is a goodie, okay, there's no loan to value problem. That's how I solved my problem in the 80s and 90s, getting up to $2.2 billion in real estate. All these ding-dongs said, no, you couldn't afford it. What are you talking about? I got millions in the bank. Are you kidding me? So goodies, they're divisions. What do we do? Today, my first question to all of you is, do you have time to change your life? You have spent thousands of dollars on credit repair companies that are flakes. They rip you off and you put up with it, and they drag you around for 2 years, and you still have crappy credit and shitty limits. Oh, sorry, poopy limits. My wife doesn't want me to use that word. Okay, so what happens? You've been ripped off by everything you tried to do. You tried to be an entrepreneur, goody for you, and what did you do? You ran out of money. You didn't have the structure. Foundation is the key, okay? If I take this corporate credit today and finance a business, or I buy a Wendy's restaurant, a storage unit, a laundromat, a car wash, I own a deed of trust. That's a division, okay? I get to write it all off and each straight in the credit card. It's a write-off, 100%. See, if you're going to create debt, why would you hurt your family? Why would you bring the pain home and jack it up and screw it up? That's called stupid. And you're not stupid, you're highly intelligent. But again, it's up to you. 2026, when you have January, and you make that New Year's resolution, make the number one resolution is you'll follow what I tell you to do. I'll guarantee anyone in writing, all right, they can get to $100,000 a month if they do what they're told. That'll be 9 divisions in a corporation doing $100,000 a month. That'll be $1.2 million if you play my way. Your way sucks. Why? You brought the damn pain home. Why would you do that? Why? Why would you ever bring the pain home? You know, my first system I tried to put in the public's eye was winning the game of business. All right, so what was my goal? It's simple. I started my first corporation as a kid. Got $1 million in the bank, having fun, no problem. And I'm building a mansion in Nellyville, California, driving a Lamborghini. Everybody kept saying, geez, must be a trust fund, baby. Oh. All these ding-dongs. I'm a freaking orphan. I didn't have a mommy and a daddy. I didn't have a family. I felt like it didn't belong in my life. What the heck am I going to do? But again, my system, the first version I went out there is winning the game of business. That was in 1976, by the way. My info commercial on TV and radio show, TV show, having fun. I've been on the radio almost 50 years and TV as well. Do you realize I was 16 years old at the time? 16. See, your choice is to understand how to play. My next series, I wanted to write books for dummies because when I do something new, I feel stupid. But I put myself in that place all the time. I feel stupid when I don't know how to do something. So I got to master the rules and tools. But Books for Dummies was taken. So I created what's called the Millionaire's Founders Kit. The Millionaire's Founders Kit. So here is a blueprint of success. I got lucky. Joanne, when I lived on Delane Street in the first grade, she said everything is built by a blueprint. She wired Apollo 9, 11, 13. She was a NASA engineer, NASA. So everything's a blueprint. Okay, that wasn't always true, but again, I had to create my own blueprints as well. So I call it the blueprint of success, no problem. Now, here's something you can get on Amazon and soon to be on TikTok Shop as well. You can scan it and buy it right away. I sold it at the Bonaventure for $5,000 a set for 32 years. In Orange County, in Ontario, as well as Long Beach, doing 4 events per week for 32 years. Being the second largest advertiser in California. Today, it's $4.99 if you bought it today. Okay, now, I would like to rebuild you. I can give you the foundation and legacy and all the goodies, but if I don't start building foundation, we're going to fall on our face like you've been doing most of your life. I believe most of you screw up all the time. You don't mean to, but the world wants to knock you down. So we want to get the American dream, right? We don't want to be rich. I want you to focus on income. I wrote this when I was 12 and a half years old. I called it See It, Believe It, Go Get It. So once again, house should be escrow, closed, homestead trust, or bought into what? A trust. Car should never be your car in the first place. Let the corporation write it off. Because you don't have the money to go get what you want, why don't you allow me to use my credit to help you? How about if I use my credit to help you? How about we partner in a business and I fund the whole damn thing if I have to, and I get you an income, because that's kind of fun. See, I like changing lives. Every program I've ever done over the years, I give you 10 times your investment back anyway in personal business credit. That's what I've always done. So money, if you don't have it, let's go get the money. Then let's get a franchise. Let's turn around today, and I guarantee if you do what you're told to do, you can get a 750 score. I don't do credit repair. Credit repair is a fraud. Federal Trade says it all the time. They can't collect money up front. They even indicted Daniel in the credit repair cloud. I will teach you and I'll hold your hand and we'll get through the process to get you to 750. But understand, I am the guy that trained Ken Yarborough. TRW became a spear in '96. TRW stood for Thomas Raymond Woolridge, Bicycle Parts, El Segundo, California. And I actually thought it stood for the reports wrong. But again, we can help rebuild you and guide you. I'm online 6 days a week for you. What do we do? So if we see an item or a goal we want to reach, I reach all my goals. We're going to see it, believe it. I'm going to say pray. I do that all through the day. And I'm going to go get it. That's just me. Okay? So again, whatever you believe in is up to you as well. Now, Mrs. Hope was my she-devil from hell. All right? Since I was 2.5 years old, being used and abused by this woman, and nobody cared about me at all. I was, she called me the piece of you-know-what in the corner. She dropped me off at Redondo Beach Pier. I was 3.5 years old. You're not here at 5 o'clock, I'll leave you there to die. Her eyes went red. She's the devil's wife, no problem. Ran over to the pier. I'm cold, I'm hungry, ate up a trash can, got caught stealing off the pier. Man grabs my hand, so I think he's throwing me over to the sharks. All he could say is, "Boy." So he says, "Boy, you take out the trash or I'll call the police." You see, I'm a good listener. You see what I do? I took out the trash. I was boy on that pier till I was 9.5 years old. Clean the chum bucket, do this, do that. What did I do? Simple. Marina Del Rey's right there. Palos Verdes, Rat Beach. It's right there. Torrance Rocks, right there. I gathered magazines. See, you're not curious enough how they got their money, are you? How did the Kennedys get their money? How did the Hiltons, Firestones, Gettys, and Fords? How did they get their kids to inherit? No, not inherit. Take over. Listen to the words. All right, not inherit, but take over the empire. See, the world is wrong and I'm right. You keep wanting to leave things to people, and that starts probate. You had maybe someone pass and went to a better place. Okay, they left you some money in a house. Probate, because they did it wrong anyway. Sorry, they should have irrevocable trust, but let's watch this. Today, you're going to do what I want you to do. I pray to God you do. I want you to write down the word or, okay? Or, never end, okay? Never end, or. What does this mean? You see, I got good clients that pass, or one of their relatives or a family or spouse, and they're a better place. What do we get to do? Very simple, okay? All right, now how do you get someone who passed away to sign a contract, all right, and then it said the word and? You can't. All right, so what happens is you're stuck in a probate to prove your point. If it was the word or, we wouldn't need them anymore to sign anything at all. See, somebody has to teach you to build a legacy and do it right, because I believe you do it wrong. All right, the word or, never and. Got it so far? Now, if we're going to build a legacy, what do they all have in common? Every one of them have a corporation. A corporation, okay? Every one of them, from your banks to your grocery stores to your cities and your grocery stores, have a management company. Management company. The banks have a management company. You could be a management company if you wanted to. Okay, the cities and the grocery stores and what happens to things around you, states. Your problem is still you. If you want to build a legacy, you have a choice here. We're going to have and write down the division process. Let's write down division process. I have a problem in 1984. 1984, I own a bunch of Shakey's Pizzas. I had corporations owning corporations, okay? Like the banks do, subsidiaries, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. When Inc. magazine interviewed me years ago, all right, reminds you I have to give the people on our social media department a copy of the Inc. magazine. The front cover says use plastic to finance your business, because that's what I was teaching them in the magazine. So what happens is I used to take my cat to the Bonaventure, because cats have 9 lives, and that's what I did. So if we create a line of defense, we can have a corporate umbrella, and we can protect our assets and never bring the pain home. Again, how we leave something to somebody matters more than anything. So what do we get to do? Let's pretend you're an expert in real estate. So we're going to say this is a piece of property. Okay. That means the bank gave us a loan, and then now we have a piece of property. With that loan, we bought a house. Now we have a tenant. That tenant could slip, fall, and sue us and screw us up, which means they can bring the pain home to you. You're counting on somebody else to help you get to the American dream, and they're going to knock you down as you get up the hill anyway. That's what happens all the time. Would you lease to a friend and family member? The first thing you say, no way in blankety blank. I know you'll say that right away. So if we have a division, what are we trying to do? Okay? If all these properties went in LLC, ones get screwed up, you lose them all. LLP, same thing. Okay, if we build division process, we can separate liability like your banks and grocery stores and what you should have did for you in the first place. You did not build a line of defense. What slowed me down is I died in a coma and came back, and then we had a pandemic problem. But again, what do we get to do? We get to play. A legacy. If I build you my way and I customize it my way, all right, when we pass, you'll watch what my son says every Saturday when he comes in here. He tells everybody he's the vice president of the company, because he is. He's 12 years old, about 4 weeks ago. 12 years old. My children have been trained since they were babies, practically, for corporations since they were born. They all have 820 scores, even my 12-year-old son. He says, I am the vice president. When daddy's done, I'm taking over. What does this mean? If my son is now vice president, he becomes president because I'm dead or I decide not to help people anymore. All right, did he change assets? Did he move things around? No. You see, this is the, all right, I won't say trick, but this is the secret. No, there's no secret. This is what the Gettys and Kennedys and Fords and everyone's did. No one's paying attention. All the social media going blah, 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 stop the crap. He got one ding dong. Oh, Warren Buffett only has one house. He got 64. He didn't drive a damn car. He's got a limousine. He got 3 of them. I hate stupid. I see it all the time on social media. So what do? If we, the people, want to build the empire, the legacy, no probate, okay, no taxes, okay, all right, our children or whoever you want can take over the corporation as officer, so you didn't transfer the asset. All right, you didn't transfer it. You just let someone else be in charge. It's simple. If I die, my wife's in charge. She dies, I'm in charge. If we die, our kids are in charge, whoever we want. See, all the pieces helpful, irrevocable trust, everything else. But I don't want them stuck in a probate, and I don't want them to transfer an asset. My goal is this family, all right, get to inherit this in a generation, and generation, and generation. So what happens is nothing gets changed. Okay, the Hilton hotels. All right, what happened? They got to be part of the board, part of the officers. We could play. Today, I hope and pray you will write down UCC1, the entitlement of ownership. House has a deed of trust, car has a pink slip. Then I want you to write down irrevocable trust. Simple. I want you to know where your assets should go as you tie in your pieces. If they're tied in correctly, we don't want to transfer an asset. If we transfer an asset, it's going to be taxed again because of the value of that. So what do we have to do? Let's follow the way it's been done, all right, for rich and famous people. How about the Rockefellers? You should have any idea what they actually did. But again, that's how it works. So if we have an irrevocable trust for real estate, that would make sense if we tied the pieces in. Got it? What do we get to do? Now, I believe what you've tried to do in your whole life, you're 35 to 75, you try to do it right. Fantastic. Or be proud of yourself, you did your best. So let God do the rest. Amen to that too. What happens? Simple. I believe you were trying to get rich or start a business. I believe that's wrong. Okay? When I wrote my first book about laundromats, dry cleaners, car washes, payphones, and printing, all right, 40 plus years ago. All right, it's like when I started Napa printing. Then it was printing and Sir Speedy. Every store is a division. If today you would listen to me, I would get you 2 of these cards with a paid over time of $100,000. Okay, 100,000. Those are my wife's cards, by the way. Okay, I would get you from the 4 banks I like up to 150 times 2, which is 300,000. If we create the corporate credit, it's borrowed money, it's not taxable, and you can write it all off, you get to finance a business and a piece. I believe your problem is you because you keep trying to get to what? Too much? Let's focus on income. Here's a laundromat. It's $250,000. They want to base $100,000 down. It's going to get you $22,000 a month. Is that okay? Here's a full service car wash. They want $1 million. They want 10% down. That's $100,000. But we can't afford it. What if we put $200,000 down? What if you and I together put $50,000 in there to get the auto income? What if the $100,000 need what down? We put 4 people there at $25,000 each. I believe my theory has always proven itself since 1987. Here's one for $1,090,000. Okay. So every piece that we come across every week, we come about 10 different projects. Here's one for $2.80 million. Now we put 8 people in this, I get $8,000 a month. Is that okay? $8,000 a month. So if we would focus on auto income, okay, this one wants $3 million. Ooh, goody, they want 10% to 20%. Should we give them all that money? Can you afford it? No, I don't want to spend all the money anyway. What if you and I would partner in a business? But then we're not partners. I want you to understand partners in a business. The partnership is a coaching program. That's why it's called the partnership. But I'm going to line you up, do all the work for you with you. I'm doing all the work. You're not doing a darn thing. Okay, what do? You are going to be told to take $25,000, put it in escrow. You're writing the check from your line of credit. I help build you a line of credit. The escrow closes. Now you have a deed of trust. You now have a deed of trust and ownership in something. That means forever. You're like, forever? There's the problem. All right, forever. But when we're gone, who takes over? There's your legacy. If you own a bunch of shakies like I did, or storage units, laundromats, and car washes, Wendy's, and Jack in the Boxes, why not? If we listen carefully, these are paid over time up to $100,000. All right, and what are we to do? American Express, kind of silly, they offer 99 more cards. 99 more cards. So how do we build a legacy, and how do we do it that we don't bring the pain home like you've been doing your whole life? I believe you brought the pain home, all right, 10 times in your life so far. I believe you're playing the up and down show and you don't know what you're really doing anyway. Sorry, I think amateur hour's over, but that's just my opinion. If you allow me to get you 100,000 of credit here, 100,000 times 9, is that $1 million, yes or no? That's on one card. There's only 10 cards to play with, the rest are crap. I'm an affiliate. I know about the 119 creditors because I'm an affiliate for 919 creditors. If we play my way, I want you to own EV charging stations, laundromats, gas station with store, all right, storage unit, dry cleaning, laundromat, Premier, Wendy's, Jack in the Box, fourplex apartment complex. This is your future. This is your 2026. If you did everything I told you to do, 100%, I'm doing most of the work for you anyway, if you allow me to, in what's called Partnering with Ray. But again, that's going to change your life. I've had 4 men in the last 3 days cry. I can't believe it's working. I got this. My wife. Slow down, slow down. Take a deep breath. My wife can't believe we got the American Express cards. She thought they'd sent them to the wrong address. I can't believe this or that. 22% of my clients are truckers. I'm going to get them out of the truck because driving a truck's a pain in the ass at. Anyway, so what happens? If we took the picture right now, now, of that should be your future. That should be you and I working together, holding our hands and singing Kumbaya. I'm online 6 days a week, have been for 49 years in person or online. I have no damn excuse. What's your excuse? What are you going to do? Go, it's about it? That's what happens to most people. If you don't make a decision to help yourself, I can't help you. Do you have the time to change your life? Your way, I think you're not happy about it 100%. I think you're disappointed, and I think it sucks. Now, what's going to happen on your credit? Let's write down credit, time, and money. Credit, time, and money. Okay, let's look. Here's your life. Okay, you lost your job today. Oh, crap, I lost my job. Boo-hoo-hoo. Now, to go home, gentlemen, and go take it out on your wife. Don't give her your crap. No woman should ever hear a man's frustration, ever. Ever. She's your queen. Take care of the queen, because she'll kill the king if you don't. Next week, I can't find a job. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. For the year, I can't find a job. Oh. Well, drive Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. Money. Got no money, got no honey, got no credit, got no what? If we would take the right rules and tools and do what I want you to do, you'd have no problem. Your way sucks. You took your personal credit, you jacked it up, you dropped your score, you got stuck, you couldn't get any more. I am the guy that suggested to, all right, Ken Yarborough, the oldest credit card period and the 29% rule. That was my design. If I got a $10,000 card, I can only use $2,100. If I use more, I drop my score, I get stuck. I can't get any more. I'm stuck. Good people getting bad credit, they treat them like what? Crap. Good people that shouldn't have bad credit. But again, oh, I lost my job. What do you do? All right, what do I do? Stop. These don't fluctuate. They don't what? You can max it out to $1 million. They don't fluctuate as long as you maintain the payment. You jacked up the wrong card. That's not allowed. You did it anyway. I want to give you $100,000 of personal credit. I want you to realize you're in debt $29,000 because you are. $31,000 of safety. All right, to get through that 1 year time. You got the time to play the game to win. Now, you spend $50 every other day on a bunch of crap. Sorry, but you do. That's $700 a month. For what you waste and I call piss away, you can rebuild your life starting with me today. 1 corporation, 18 divisions. Poor client, Eric is so afraid. It's like you got to say boo and he'll scream. He's afraid of the boogeyman and boogie woman. He got 7 LLCs from a bunch of ding-dongs. What? That way you do 7 LLCs. I got another guy that said, I got Wyoming, I got Nevada. I got to stop the Macarena game. You don't need all that crap. Hey, 2009, I'm the largest registered agent in the world. I've sold 10 times corporations anybody on this planet. for rich and famous and normal people like you. Simple. One corporation in the beginning, 9 divisions. 9 divisions, 18. Now watch. If I have 9 loans right here, these are loans right across the board, and I use the loan to buy the house, then I have these people called tenants. If they slip and fall, they can screw me up. If they own by LLC, LLP, I lose everything. What am I allowed to do? If I created a line of defense called division, what I created in 85, 86, I can disconnect, isolate, incorporate, and bank with the bad piece. I can keep my other pieces. Your banks and grocery stores and cities do. You could have did it with you as well, but you didn't do that. Because what did you do? You fall on the bouncing ball, falling ducks and sheep. 100,000 in credit, okay? Times 9 division, that's $1 million. Got it so far? If we do this right, we'll create the credit, the money to get the honey. But it's up to you. Your choice is up to you. My first storage unit, partner with my ex-father-in-law, $17,350 a month. He got his corp, I got my corp. See, the partner is a coaching program when I'm doing all the work with you and I get to tell you what to do. When you go into escrow, we're not partners. I own a piece of that Wendy's, so do you. We own a piece. We get a deed of trust. We own it forever. I like forever, don't you? But it's up to you. What did you do? I believe you came home one day with your friends and family. You sit at the kitchen table with your spouse, your partner of life, whatever you did. Honey, we're going to start a business. We're going to jack up our cards, drop our score, get stuck, can't get it anymore. We're going to hawk our house. We're going to bring the pain home to you and me. And we're going to be stupid. Well, that's what you did. That's what you did. Why would you jack up the wrong card? Why would you build a foundation of corporate credit? The goal is to never bring the pain home. Never. What do? Plan the problem. Ever since the she-devil from hell took my $52, 8.5 years old, I planned the problem. I plan the problem all the time. I have to be prepared because the world wants to not only want to kill me or knock me down or rip it off. Protect your assets. 1987, I'm training in Yarborough. Still, again, TRW became a Spirian. Let's understand, we wrote a book called File Segregation. I did not like the book. I did not like the book when we were done. I felt he wanted to lie just a little bit. Now, let's watch what happens. The dashboard I created in 1987 allows SSN, SS4. What does it allow? So I can take an SSN and create the credit files that you took 3 years to figure out, and you're still trying to figure it out, or SS4. Okay? You're trying to figure out your credit to this day, and you're 70 years old? Give me a break. You're 50, you're 40, you're 30? I don't understand. You didn't come play with me earlier today? You should have. So if I have a corporation with entities called division process, I get to roll the dice and give it a heck of a try. So let's understand. We're going to look at you and the corporation again. Got it so far? Now, we're entitled, or we're forced to, get an SSN at 14 to 16, unless it was after Nixon took the gold standard in August in 71. That means mom was told at the hospital, you got to fill out this form before you can go home with your baby. Now, we look over here to the SS4. It says employer, entity, or you. It was created as a universal form if you do your research. Employer, entity, you, what? You could have one, your entity could. You create entities over here. My problem in 84 is they want to be paid franchise tax fee. Up to $800 to $1,000 per corporation. That'll be $1 million too. No thank you, up to that. Sacramento, I asked the question, can I create an entity under the corporation? I knew I could get a tax ID if they said yes. Create a form or modify one, we'll give you an approval or not. So what do? My dashboard, listen very carefully, okay? If I take live credit, not trade line crap, I don't believe in trade line crap, and I take you, corporate divisions, and I add you to my dashboard. This is the dashboard. I add you to one of my accounts in the dashboard only. I get 2 choices. I can get separate billing, all right, have separate billing, or basically authorized user, and the authorized user, forget it. Here's what the dashboard will say, okay? The word optional. I have 90 days, all right, before I have to put an SSN or an SS4 there, 90 days. I can buy up to actually 5 months at the most if I had to. So what do we get to do? Optional. So if we take today, okay, and we want a division, do I want a division for me to replace me? Do I want divisions to get properties or Wendy's restaurants or Jack in the Box? Do I want a management company? See, corporation's great. That's what makes it a legal person, and that way you don't pay tax till you're profitable. Do your research. What do we have to do? Play. So, if I have 9 loans and 9 houses, I have to realize how to count. This means I have 18 liabilities, 18. Okay? So I have 18 liabilities. I'm trying to create money. A single family house is going to get you like $600 a month to $1,000 if you're lucky. It's not enough. My clients, I tell them to take your property and make sure you have a nonprofit corporation and you donate to the nonprofit and you turn into hospice and elderly care, and now you get $110,000. One lady's got $112,000 a month of income to a nonprofit. Again, donating to offset taxes. Everything is strategy and numbers. That's how it works. 18 is 36, 36 is 72. So let's say, this is in my book 40 years ago, and I've done this many times because I created the division process. Here's a corp, here's a division, here's 3 subdivisions and more. That helped me create up to $16 million of credit. Maybe you don't get it. Each division has its own credit file as Experian, Treasury, and Equifax under tax ID. It's allowed that. Its own file lets me build more credit to finance the dream. And a write-off on the taxes because debt offsets taxes. But it's a choice. You have 10 creditors that are worth a darn. The rest, I think, suck. But again, I want you to have these as well. Simple. That's up to $100,000 of credit for you. The corporation should have this up to $1 million. So should every division. If we did it correctly, 9 divisions with the corporation, that's $10 million of credit in about 36 months. So you build your foundation to build your dream and build your what? Legacy. That's very simple. So 2 cards for you and 2 cards for the corporation or more, or per division. What happens is if you ever screwed American Express or Chase, I don't like to forgive you. I would suggest a division of you, but it's going to be up to you as well. Now here they are. They're offering you 99 more cards. It's right there in front of you. I believe I can turn that to $100 million. To me, it's ridiculous. If I daisy chain, I created this in 1989, by the way. So let's write down daisy chaining of credit, 1989. I want to get more credit for my entities. What do I get to do? So 1 card, 9 times. Did I create $1 million on 1 card? Yes, I did. What do we have to do? The NACB certified me as the #1 consultant worldwide over the years. I'm the one who came up with the concept of 25, 29% rule. That means a credit card that you have today in your personal wallet, you're jacking up, drop your score, get stuck, you can't get any more. You did this to yourself, by the way. So again, if we did this correctly, my way, all dashboards say below 30%. They're not giving you the rules and tools, they just say below 30, and they're not really answering your question. 25 to 29% is green, 30 is yellow, 50 is red. That's the goal. We want to make sure we have the ability to play the game and balance our debt. So let's understand to never bring the pain home. Now, I believe we all, me, you, and all, we all screwed up. Okay? I believe we make mistakes all the time. We follow ducks and sheep. So I wrote another book. I've written about 67 so far. I got probably 200 more to write, and hopefully this next year. This is basically starting out right. This is for kids in high school and college. I'd like to start their credit file for free. By the way, the book's free. Everything's free for them. I don't want them to make the same stupid mistake we did. How about you let me set up their credit file for them, get them their first credit card. No, you don't need a Capital One secured card, which you hear on all the social media, which is wrong. That'd be an inquiry. It's a negative, not a positive. If you allow me to do it, I can get you a card, usually $1,000 to $5,000 right away. But if you don't want me to do it, it's opensky.com. I don't get anything to tell you the truth, but it's the truth. It's Capital Bank. You put $200 on the card, you spend $25. There you go. So I want to change the world. Can you help me help you? Is that all right? So we play the game to win. Okay. Write it down. I want you to be part of everything we do. Get to the point, I'm going to do all the work with you, for you, but I'm going to hold your hand, and you have to be part of the program. You got to do what I ask you or tell you what to do. All cards fluctuate but 2. Write it down. All cards fluctuate but 2. Okay? So if we take the American Express Gold and Platinum cards that do not fluctuate, we can max them out to $1 million during that hard day, week, month, or year, and we don't bring the pain home ever. You drop your score because you didn't know what the heck you're doing. Okay, amateur hour's over. Again, simple. The Fair Credit Reporting Act. Federal Trade says credit repairs are fraud. They're not allowed to collect money up front. They're supposed to have a bond and a 501c3 exemption. I'm an educator. I have classes in this room, but we have all the things I just mentioned anyway. The Credit Repair Organization Act. What most of them are using is my books and CDs out there anyway. So remember, I wrote the first book about personal credit, going to the creditors and the credit bureaus. It's called Winning the Credit Game. It's been updated many times. It's free if you get it here. Take a picture, download a copy. Free! I want to change your life. Most using it anyway. You just send it to everybody you know. So let's help people. Now, I believe you're a duck. Sorry to say, but that's what I believe. I think we're all ducks at times. Okay, and the difference is, all right, we screw up. We have the ability on my dashboard, SSN, SS4. Would I want one more than one SSN? I can't get more than one. I'm stuck. SS4 allows me to get one per entity. I'm building an umbrella. Got it so far? So understand what this means. I'm allowed in my divisions, I created and invented, I'll say invented, created it, a second chance. What do we get to do? If I do divisions, I can name them after me. I signed the lease of this building here and the building next door. I didn't sign it with SSN because I think it was stupid. I signed Ray Reynolds with the division using a tax ID. Okay? Because I'm allowed to, so are you, if you learn how to play the game. I got no intent to do fraud, but I do have the intent to help people. Because of government shutdown, I've been helping a lot of people not getting their money, doing what I won't say alternative file, a division themselves to help them get through the process, as long as they don't have any intent to do fraud. And if they're military, I'm giving a heck of a deal to them to do that. If they're not military, then I charge the normal fee, which is about $2,000. So what I do is I can set up the credit file under listen carefully, under one of my divisions, and I can transfer it to your corporation. All right, what do? Tax ID, all right, your name, middle name, whatever it might need to be, and we're going to set up credit, and I'm going to use cards to float over there and get scoring. That division of me can go get credit card, house, okay, literally, or even a franchise, but it's up to you. If we play the game to win, the goal is never to bring the pain home. So let's understand. Today, your credit file is going up and down a little bit, you're a little stressed, and you're worried about money and everything else. If I built you an alternative division of you, that gives you the ability to rebuild yourself in case it takes time to get this one back on track. All right, and that's the most important thing. You can't have the intent to do fraud. You're going to sign a piece of paper, so no intent to do fraud. All right, I can make your credit file disappear if I wanted to, and you never see it again. That's beside the point. I'm not going to teach that. So the SS4 can replace you, okay? An SS4 we could replace, and if we had a problem with that, we'll get another one and another one. I believe we should have 3 divisions of ourselves. I always had 3 divisions of me and 5 closet divisions. Let's write it down. 3 divisions of me and 5 closet divisions. 2009, I get to die in a coma. Get to come back, 2011. Car, wife and kids, and where do we go? We have no money. They stole everything I had. I took my 3 divisions of me and my closet divisions, and I built $1 million of credit, and I bought my wife her next dream house. Why do people stay down? Because they don't know how to play. Why the divisions call 3 of me and 5? 8's the number, because I was born on the 8th, and that's simple. 8 is infinity beyond. My race boats, my race cars, and all right, motorcycles always had the number 8 on it. That's made sense to me. So if I turn around today, and that Lamborghini was bought through a division of me, by the way, what do we get to do? So if something goes wrong, what am I allowed to do? What if something goes wrong? You get something wrong, you're going to bring the pain home. You're a duck and a sheep. You brought the pain and you screwed it all up. What am I going to do? Well, if something goes wrong in a division of me, there's a 3-step. I invented the 3-step as well, of course. Every time there was a problem, it came with a solution. I can disconnect, isolate, incorporate. I can replace the SS4 with another SS4 because I'm allowed to with no intent to do fraud. Your banks do it, your grocery stores, your cities do it all the time. Every division can. See, your problem is you didn't learn how to play the game to win, and that's why you bring the pain home every day again and again. It's up to you. So you're stressed. Why? Why don't we have a division of ourselves, all right, so we can basically rebuild our score to 750 and above. But again, no intent to do fraud. You will sign an agreement to say that. Now, my military, I do it for $1,000. Anyone else is $2,000. But again, that's only when they're doing it with me because I want to line it up and I'm going to call them on the phone right away. Let's watch my dashboard, okay? Experian, Tranjo, and Equifax right there. I'm allowed to load an SSN, SS4. It's right there, right in front of you since 1987. I can build a person, a corporation, a division, or a subsidiary, a brand new, all right, cash credit report instantly within about 5 minutes. Kind of fun. But again, that's up to you, division of me. So if you want one, okay, you can get it through me and I can hold your hand. I'll call you right away. But again, if you're military, it's $1,000, or you're related to someone in the military, $1,000. Anyone else, it's $2,000. Because that's what it's worth. I'm going to replace you, but I'm going to have that phone call with you too. I'm usually $3,000 an hour, $25,000 a day. You score like this one. This is a division of me to a 757. Another 48 points. So we have to have a backup and a backup. We're entitled to this. But again, it's up to you. You have to be part of the program. That's why I need to call you right away and make sure you don't screw it up. So let's watch. Okay? I love the fact that the banks in 2022 bought Zelle. I don't have to send someone to the bank 10 times a day. Okay. What do we do? Now, the office, they created this little look-alike like me a little bit. And because I say Zelle, now, and always good, always good. No one steals my peace. So what happens? Take your picture right now. Okay, there's your picture. Before I turn the page, just take your picture. That is Zelle. And if you Zelle, now, I'm going to show you something you can do tonight. But again, it's going to be up to you. Okay? So what happens is if we do Zelle tonight, what's going to happen for you is you're going to put your phone number on the message of the Zelle. You're going to do the Zelle. Okay, you're going to put your phone number right in the middle of that. It's a message. Okay, because I'm going to call you after the broadcast. I will be personally calling you an hour after this broadcast. So we can line it up and make sure we get the right process going. But it's up to you. Division of me, for anyone who's related to someone in the military is $1,000. If not, it's $2,000. Okay, because I'm going to ask you about your access code to Navy. All right, by Zelle only to do this. If you have to use a card, you would call 800-254-9506, and you can use a card. They will charge you 5% more. It's right there. But you don't get the phone call, all right, if it's a card. You get the phone call if it's a Zelle only, because I want to call you right away. That's how it works. So online, you watch these people going, hey, I got a collection call. Let me show you how it's done. The man's talking to his daughter. Why don't we just give him a copy of the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act? How about debt crisis intervention? Take a picture, scan it, get a free copy. What do? The library you will find on Amazon, or basically soon to be on, all right, basically TikTok shop. No problem. Some books that are free, books you can pay for. Analytical 750. This helps me not only boost your score, it helps me line up for the division of me as well. And what do we get to do? Now, I don't like Credit Karma. That's just a personal opinion. I don't like it because there's no phone number to help you. They were indicted 6 times and they don't have Experian. If we want the bank to give us a line of credit called checkbook money, all banks are going to pull Experian.com. Okay? Analytical has all 3. Chase cards don't charge up to 22 months for the first personal or business cards, period, up to 22 months, just like free money. So we want the Experian. It's pretty important. They're going to call you every 46 days. They're going to hold your hand, tell you what to do next. They're going to help you with your Dun & Bradstreet, your Experian, Treasury and Equifax, business reports as well. Okay, as you do these things. It says zoomed, all right, signed out because you are currently signed in another device. All right, you hear that, Nick? So what do I do, Nick? Just click OK. I'll click OK. All right, no problem at all. So if we're looking for analytical and for your current credit or a new file under the division process, our goal is to build it up and away. Got it so far? When it comes to the corporation, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Treasury and Equifax, we're using tax ID, so you take a picture and you scan that right away. What is the goal there? Okay, let me rebuild you my way. The reason I want to call you on the phone right away after you Zelle, I want to make sure we line it up for the next phone call with me. All right, what we're going to do is rebuild you like Humpty Dumpty. That's important to me. Again, corporations and divisions have to be filed now before the end of the year. Why? Because the banks want them to be filed, so they're going on their 2nd year. If you do it too late, then you kind of wasted time. All right, file it now. But again, you have days left in this year. That's about it. We don't like that. Now, here's Chapter 18. Chapter 18, I heard this, and I'm a little kid. I'm 7.5 years old. Mrs. Hope had a poker game every Wednesday night. I'm in the corner writing little notes, listening to the grown-ups, the rich and famous people talk. They said a corporation's a legal person right there. Okay, I wrote it down. I'm 7.5 years old. I rode my bicycle down to the Torrance Police Department next door to the library. Ma'am, what does this mean? All right, she walked away. She was rude. 5 minutes later, here's a mock face. Hey, the book. I read the book looking for a blueprint because that's what Joanne said. Everything was built by a blueprint. Didn't find one. So I invented one. Simple. The blueprint of success. May sue or be sued. I was 9.5 years old when I was brave enough to send away $10. Do you have $10? Do you have $10? It's simple. Nowadays, that same corporation is $30. I believe you didn't learn diddly squat when you spent thousands with an attorney for a corporation trying to, practice law because they haven't got it right yet, or CPA, or an incorporating service. You didn't learn diddly squat. The bottom here, it says not required to file. I, at 9.5 years old, thought that was wrong. It was wrong under 17983. Later on, I proved it was wrong. Okay. My first corporation was Helping Hand Industries. Cost $10. That was it. It's very simple. And I got nonprofit. Did teach our children. And I basically, which became the DARE program through Nancy Reagan, because she just said saying no. And it became basically the Orange County Blind Center. Division process. What happens is very simple. I screwed up again. Everywhere you go in life, you're screwing up again. Your butt kicked no matter what you do. I used the word Braille when we started the Orange County Blind Center. It was belonged to the Braille Institution. So I screwed up again. I had to learn by the bouncing ball, never to bring the pain home. The lie. I believe you lied to yourself. Sorry to say, I think it's true. And that people talking about corporations lie to you every day. It'll protect you. Supreme Court deemed a corporation as a legal person to receive money, pay tax when you're profitable. Debt offsets taxes. If they sue the corporation, they're going to sue you because you signed for the building, the credit card, and the car. Okay? So you're the duck and the sheep. All right? The bottom line is it'll pull you down to a bankruptcy too. What do we do? If we do this correctly, we could play the game to win. Your assignment tonight is for you to write down SOS, Secretary of State, whatever initial state you're in, .gov. I would like you to inspect yourself tonight on that corporation. 47% of you are using your home address, and that's why you get all the junk mail at home. That's called silly and dumb. Again, states sell you a mailing list. You kind of screwed that up too. Our goal is to create a line of defense. A line of what? Defense. Because no matter what we do, there's always somebody trying to knock us down and take it away. We have to protect our assets. And that's the goal for all of us. If we have a corporation, you're allowed 5 things. That's it. 4 things, actually. Let's see. You're allowed 4 things. What are these 4 things? Okay. Corporation can buffer tax. No tax due till you're profitable. Corporation, corporate credits are write-off, insurance and credit card. It's simple, okay. The car's fleet price. And then we get the free buffet at the hotel. That's all your corp should do. That's why it should be a management company. The division has taken the chance to roll the dice, which you've been doing to you and your family, and that should stop today. We have divisions, line of defense. They're cheap, multiple functions, buy at wholesale price, multiple credit reports. Every division gets another credit report. I wrote this 40 years ago, by the way, in my first book back then, all right, to do this process. From there to separate liability for real estate. It's called a line of defense. If you create a line of defense, you can protect your corp and your family every day. But again, your problem is your way you're set up or not set up at all. Debt follows SSN and SS4. So here's me. At one point in time, we were controlling $2.2 billion in real estate, 21 cars, no problem. And a college professor years ago said I was paranoid. Heck yes. That's 1,013 divisions. I don't know who's going to sue me and screw me up. I'm going to protect my ass. If I get a bad piece, I give you the piece. Keep the rest of the pieces. It's called Boring and Steady. It always has been. I've been teaching Boring and Steady for 49 years. You should become a puppet master. A puppet master. In other words, your corporation owns pieces in any entities to create an income. Income is what you should be living on. If today we take the blueprint loans or the lines of credit, all right, you have a choice to use that into an escrow if you want to. This means in a years of coaching, 12 months with me, partnership coaching, because I'm going to line you up, do all the work for you anyway. This should be 6 escrows you close. If you're aggressive like me, it'll be 10, but it's up to you. If we put $25,000 of the line of credit into an escrow, and I line you up for a laundromat, dry cleaner, car wash, you're going to get up to $3,200 a month probably. And there's 3 other people besides me in it, and you're one of those 3. We get to play. If we take 50,000 up to 5,600, 75,000, 7,500, and 100,000 up to 9,620. So if we took this here as your goal next year for 2026, take your picture. That should be your goal. Why you don't own the pieces you drive by every day and make it an opportunity, auto income, I don't know. I think that's where you kind of blew it. So being a puppet master would make sense. What do you think? Income base. What do we do? For 2026, take your picture. I would like you to think about letting me coach you for 90 days. 100,000 of personal or business credit. A blueprint call, monthly calls. 18 books and CDs to give you the whole foundation and 18 divisions. Now, the office is going to sell this for $14,999, 15 grand. That's what it's worth. If you did it tonight through me, you also call the office right away to do it as well. It is $3,999. So it's 4 grand. $4,000, and I'm going to basically coach you for 90 days and get you positioned to do this right away. But again, what do we do? If you want 12 months, which is where you get to that 100,000, if you do what you're told, I'm going to give you 200,000 of credit, 200,000. 100,000 of personal and business. What are we going to do? Simple. I'm going to blueprint you. I'm going to get on that phone every 3 weeks. You're going to get stuck with me. Usually that's $27,000. Tonight, if it's paid in full, it's 10 grand. You say basically $16,000. Okay, no problem. Done tonight. Not done tonight, okay, then you're going to pay the normal $27,000. If you want, all right, to put $2,500 down as a deposit, you can do that too. If you paid the balance in a day or so, you still get the $200,000 credit. If you're financing it, then there's no credit at all. But I'm going to coach you through the process, do all the work anyway. So you could do $2,500 now. Make that commitment. There's your Zell. Again, I can only coach 40 people at a time. I'm almost sold out for the year anyway. So what happens is, because I broadcast every day and 3 calls a day, sometimes 4 like today. So there's your Zell now. If you do a Zell right away, what happens tonight is very simple. I want you to put your phone number in the message. I'm calling you today. That phone call would be free if you did the Zell. The difference is most people pay up to $500 just for their call. So what do we get to do? You Zell now. If you buy Zell, you get a phone call with me today. The only way you get to call is through a Zell process. If you want to call the office at 800-254-9506, you can use the card. Okay? It'll charge you 5% more to use the card, but there's no phone call. It's up to you as we play. What is our goal? Pay tax or buy a Lamborghini. That's what I told for 40 years. So let's watch. This Lamborghini right here, okay, the auditors in 2011 were saying, I don't drive a Lamborghini, why do you? Well, I'm a smart son of you, a biscuit, and you're an idiot, is what I told him. He didn't like that. Oh, well. The other auditor, what do you say? You can only write off 80%, blah, 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 blah. I said, sir, there's a marketing tool on it. It's right there, the marketing tool. Oh, it does? Okay. I said, the problem with both of you didn't do your research. That car is actually financed to a division of a corporation. It's not even my car. I'm driving a company car, writing it off. No, the corporation is. I'm just driving a company car because I'm an employee. Got it so far? So if we play, we can pay tax or buy a Lamborghini or a spaceship. Again, or have a nonprofit. Nonprofit can offset tax and create jobs for people. I got 3 people in the military. There, you don't get your check right now. I'm doing divisions of themselves to actually compete as I'm doing a nonprofit. They're coming to the next event next weekend. We're going to get them the exemption. We're going to turn it into money, all right, so we don't have to count on anybody else. Again, this is what everyone should do anyway. Nonprofit, my first corp. You need a 501c3 exemption. Okay, very simple. I taught it basically 49 years ago as well. What do? We get to play the game to win. I want to get some Trump money. You see, a nonprofit filed isn't nonprofit at all unless you have a federal exemption. It is called public benefit, and it's a 501c3. Very simple. What do we get to do? My client, I told him to take his house, getting $600 a month. It's a joke. Come on. You're putting with that tenant who can fall and sue you and screw you up again. Donate it to the nonprofit. Now you get into hospice house, and that's up to $100,000 a month. Okay, hospice, elderly care, transportation, food delivery. Now we're talking. All right, you see, they realize that these do more than 4 times than a McDonald's can do. But again, that's up to you. the corporation, nonprofit, city, state, and federal grant money. They're going to give a lot away next year, solving the problem for homeless as well. If you do the nonprofit now, you get to basically go after grant money next year because you did it the year before. But it's up to you again. What do we get to do? Here's a nonprofit corporation I'm going to build for you. I'm going to do all the work with you and for you while you help me, okay? I'm going to help you get the 501c3 exemption. The articles also says tax ID. I'm going to build the credit reports of Experian, Treasury, and Equifax, even Dun & Bradstreet. Okay? I'm going to charge you $10,000 because I'm helping you get the exemption, and most people getting exemptions are at the $15,000 for the exemption alone. But again, you're online tonight with me. So I'm going to change the rules. Simple. A nonprofit corporation tonight through me, I'm building $100,000 in credit for you and the corporation. You decide how much goes where. 18 divisions and 3 months of my calls. 3 months. 3 months. Okay? So basically for that $5,000, since I just discounted it again, you get all that tonight. If you did it tonight, got it? Very simple. During the broadcast. Broadcast discounts are there. After the broadcast, the discount goes away. What do we get to do? Get some Trump money. Now, next weekend, the 15th and 16th of this month, I'm doing a Saturday and Sunday event about nonprofit and exemptions. If you don't want the previous one, okay, let's just go get this. How about we get you into the nonprofit organization and the boot camp for 2 days, online or in person. Online is $2,000, $50,000 in credit. In person, $5,000 and $100,000 credit. But you don't get all those other goodies I mentioned. If you did the other program for $5,000, tonight only, that's given for free, the 2-day event. If it's not done tonight, the reality is, sorry, you're not going to get it. You're going to break it down, and I'm going to say Zelle, now. There's your Zelle. And if you put your phone number on that Zelle message, all right, it's very simple. I'm going to call you today, not tomorrow, today. Again, unless you say in that little message you want me to call you when, you set the time. So again, if you Zelle, all right, that's the ultimate goal tonight, what you get to do for you. If you need to make a phone call, they will charge you 5% more. You call 800-254-9506, but there's no free call with me. Very simple, you can purchase one. What do we do tonight? Take a picture. Why? If you want to go to the classes like on Friday and Saturday, I can send you a link if you want. Scan it, take a picture, and put the word yes. Pretty simple to do. Now, I have specialty classes on Saturday in rotation. This weekend is the #1 class I've done for 49 years called real estate. I've had thousands of people go to the real estate classes and around the hotels. It's kind of fun. Today, I'm going to waive that fee for you. If you want to go, if you basically let me know where to Zelle, or basically not Zelle, or send the information and the link for it. If you need an office for address for your bank account for business, that's what they want, a real address, we lease 12 feet at a time, if you want to take a picture of that too. What do we do? Why would you need a call with me? Well, normally my calls for 15 minutes are $500 at the office. I'm $3,000 an hour and $25,000 a day. If you want to call, that's all you want with me, tonight is $399. $399 is the call you get with me. That's being waived if you Zelle tonight, but then that's up to you. Again, all right, there's only 3 openings anyway. Now, the goal is to have manageable debt, personal credit up to $100,000, corporation $1 million, auto income, and then leverage money. I've been teaching how to leverage money for 49 years to rich and famous people and normal people like you. Simple. If we take the business credit we build, and we use this credit to buy a lifetime income. This would be a fourplex, an apartment complex. This could be a Jack in the Box or a McDonald's. You own it. Your division owns it. You understand ownership? You get a deed of trust. I had a problem in 1988. I got $53 million of credit cards. They're shrinking my limits because I'm not using them all. Again, what do we get to do? Well, I basically set up a matrix. I went back to the library. I found C191D says a corporation can loan out money privately. Okay, that's what I did. My first matrix was $4.6 million, and I created $190,000 a month. Is that good? All right. The notes behind that were $1.1 billion, by the way. So that's in 1989, by the way. Is that okay? We play my way a little bit? So we get to play to win. So the analytical is going to help you with Dun & Bradstreet. Take a picture there so you can scan it so you get a Dun & Bradstreet for your personal, your corporation, and for your nonprofit. The goal is supply and vendor credit as well. Divisions. Divisions to me are your line of defense. okay? Every time there's been a problem, to me it's a division. What are we to do? Dashboard allows me to use history to start to file a spirit and treasurer and Equifax. I don't need tax ID for divisions until I want to ask for separate what? Billing. So again, I can daisy chain 113 different ways. But again, a division process. Today, it's very simple. Take a picture. Each division is about $1,000 because I add the credit reports and the tax ID for you. 3, with or without credit, 9, 12, and that's how it works. So today, what we normally do is we're going to charge you $1,000 each. Tonight, you can basically double the numbers if you wanted to. 3 is 6, 9 is 18, and 12 is 24. Now, my question back to you is very simple. Do you want to be a millionaire? You're probably going to say yes. I'd like to just say no. If you're a millionaire, you're going to be taxed on everything you bring in, like these people on social media. I'm rich, I'm rich. I believe the IRS is going to audit them all, but that's just what's happened in the past. If you have a corporation that's rich, you're basically a puppet master, and now you have 9 divisions and 9 locations. There's your $100,000 a month, by the way, if you did it my way. What do we do? If tonight you wanted $25,000 of credit to you, or your corporation or your divisions, you tell me where you want me to aim it. We charge $2,500, that's about 10%. Tonight, you can get that for $1,999. If you did it tonight, okay, I will double that to $50,000. But it has to be done tonight, not tomorrow. If you Zelle, you save 10% on top of that. If you want $50,000 in credit, I'm going to do it for $3,000. If you Zelle, save another 10%, and I'm going to double that to $100,000 tonight only. $100,000, all right, again, tonight is $5,000. Very simple. If you Zelle, you save 10% on that, but I'm going to double that to $200,000. $100,000 for you and $100,000 for the corporation, but that is tonight, or it's not going to happen that way. Doubling the numbers only comes through me. No one else has the ability to do that because I'm the founder of the organization. But again, you can basically Zelle now. You can put your phone number in the middle, and I'll call you right away after the Zelle comes in. Or you can call the office, and they'll write it up for you too. And that basically is 800-254-9506. But they will charge 5% more if it's a credit card. Again, that's what happens tonight. The goal is to repackage you like Humpty Dumpty. You understand? I believe you're brilliant. You're doing everything right and wrong at the same time. There's pieces you're missing. If you allow me to rebuild you, all right, my way, I can get you where you want to go. And I think you kind of wasted a lot of time, but that's just my opinion for you. Here's a library you'll find at TikTok Shop. We can come in there soon, and this is the one on Amazon as well. What do? You could have made $1,000 tonight. You could register all your referrals and everybody you know in the HubSpot. They'll send you a Zelle or 10% on a check or store credit. So when that person, I don't have the money, stop it. If Billy can do referral base and get to $1 million corporation, so could you. There's no excuses. Again, this is how we play the game to win. Always good, because that's how it is. No one steals my peace. I'll take and count to 10 before I let them steal my peace. And I always say to myself, thank you, Jesus. Simple. Being a puppet master. All right, the club I started 40 years ago, rich and famous people, normal people as well. What do? 1,013 divisions. I don't know who's going to sue me and screw me up. I want to protect my assets. Again, that's what my goal is. If I'm looking at boring and steady, that's the ultimate goal for all of us, boring and steady. What do? I think this should be your future. If you allow me to basically do most of the work with you or for you, and I call you every 3 weeks, we're on the phone to guide you every step of the way, would you like to do that? If you did exactly what I told you for that 1 year of coaching, the partnership coaching program, if you work as hard as I do, you're going to have 10 divisions, and that's $100,000 a month, by the way. But it's up to you. Would you like a piece of a car wash? You don't ever see the owner working there. It's like going to the Wendy's. Where's the owner? Where's the owner? They're not there. Management companies. So what do? Well, all right, we maybe want a Burger King, okay? How about we buy Ugly? Ugly makes money too. So if we do this correctly, we're going to take lines of credit from the bank, or a blueprint loan, and you're going to write a check to escrow so you own a deed of trust. You own part of it. You get a deed of trust. You own a piece forever until you want to sell it or give it away, or basically what you want to do, my way, hopefully. In a year, you should have 6 escrows minimum. I like to go for 10. Would that be okay? If we put $25,000 off the line of credit, laundromat, dry cleaner, car wash. Let's get up to $3,200 a month. Forever. Again, that's the goal. How about 50? $5,600 forever. Okay, 75,000. All right, 7,500 forever. Okay, 100,000, 9620. See, I say forever because you've been driving by these things here in where you live today, Wendy's, Jack and Rock, all these pieces, since you were 4 or 5 years old. You could pay attention. It's right there. The same one's right there. Why don't you own it? See, I want it to be boring and steady. Boring and steady makes sense to me. Blueprint call. I'm going to call. I'm going to interview you. I'm going to turn it into a blueprint. I'm going to give you a list. All right, project list, daily list, weekly list, project, what we're going to do. Past, present, future, good, bad, ugly. Got a bankruptcy? Got a tax problem? You mess up Chase and American Express? I need to know. Family, corporation. How many divisions you got? Should be 18 minimum. Irrevocable trust. House, car. All right, car is going to be division. House is going to be in trust. Auto income, cash flow for your time. My blueprint call is $5,000. By the way, I wrote Cash Flow for Your Time, my book, in 1976, page 6, paragraph 3. A blueprint call is usually $5,000. Okay, the office selling it for $19.99. Tonight it is $1,000. It's right there. I can blueprint you. If you sell it, you basically save 10% on that too. Next, if you want to partner with me in a program, so I do most of the work for you anyway, then it's free. The form that I looked at, because I saw chapter, 18, and I saw 17,903 at 9.5 years old, didn't make sense. It said not required. That doesn't make sense. So where's my options? This form in 84 said husband and wife and partner. It's been modified many times over the years. Simple, based on my suggestions. So your corporation will have a 4A. We will have my corporation, one of them be 4. And then we have a B and a C. That's how we partner in an escrow. You see, you own a piece. Okay, you don't have to worry about other people stealing your goodies. Again, I've been partnering with since 1987. It's simple. If you want a 90-day coaching, that's all you have to do. Okay, there you go. Let's get your feet wet. 90 days, 100,000 in credit, blueprint call, monthly calls, 18 book CDs and 18 divisions, no problem. $14,999. Tonight is $3,900.99. It's $4,000. If it's done tonight, now, very simple to do. If you want the 12 months, that means we're going to go after 10 divisions, 10 entities, and $100,000 a month. That would be the ultimate goal for all of you if you want. I'm going to basically give you $200,000 in credit, blueprint call. 12 months of coaching. That's $27,000 normally. Tonight it is 10, period, if it's paid in full. If you want to put $2,500, you could do that. If you make the balance right away, it's simple to do. You get the $200,000 credit. If $2,500 is done now by Zelle, credit card, and you don't make the payments, you want to make payments on the balance, no problem. There's just no credit. There's your Zelle, now. And always good. Take that picture. If you use a Zelle tonight, you put your phone number in the middle of that Zelle. I want to make sure I call you right away today. Okay? If it's a Zelle, that's what I'm going to do. That phone call will be free. If you need to call the office at 800-254-9506, use a card to charge 5% more, there's no call. It's simple. They'll be there to help you every step of the way anyway. The goal is to be the Reynolds University is to repackage your life, the building I'm standing in today. From there, what do? If you want me to coach your current business, we can. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. The next thing we have to think about, how do I get these lines of credit at the bank? I got to line you up correctly. You're going to let me do most of the work with you. For you, you're just going to follow along. How am I going to get a blueprint loan? It's American Express. American Express, they offer 99 cards. That's kind of crazy, but that's okay. Let's see what we're going to do. If we want that up to 240 to 250, we should take that money if we get it and put it into a franchise or buy a business. That's auto income, by the way. That's my suggestion. They want you to see 30 transactions on a monthly base, and they want to see 100,000 in and out of the bank account. If you don't have it, based on another program I have, I can add it to the program of coaching if you want. What am I going to do? I'm going to have a division of your corporate under my corporation so I can show them the proof of $500,000 a month. I normally charge $5,000 to do that. I won't charge the credit at all to the back end after I help build it until we close an escrow. Again, that's up to you as well. So here's 500,000 in July. Well, I think we can pass 100,000. Here's almost 5 in August. Here's 4 in September and more. So if I line it up correctly for you, all right, and do a division under my corporation for you, if you need that process, we can do that too. We're going to sign agreements because we're going to partner up in that process to get you the American dream. Normally 5,000. Tonight, the blueprint loan is $4,000. You save $1,000 if it's done tonight. If not, it goes back to the normal 4. If you want me to do this under one of my corporations, I call it fast track. I'll build that blueprint loan under one of the corps and divisions that I already have. That speeds it up, called fast track. I'll let you be one of my CFOs over here. What if we build them both at the same time, have some more fun? We get to do that too. But again, fast track, normally about $6,000, $7,000. Tonight it is $5,000 if you want fast track, but it's up to you. There's that Zelle, now, and always good. If you Zelle tonight, you put your phone number in the middle where it says message, and I'm going to call you right away, unless you tell me what time to call you, and we'll schedule that too. But that free phone call is if you Zelle. If you need to, basically call the office at 800-254-9506, and you're going to charge 5% to the card, no problem. The only difference is the call is gone. The free call is only by Zelle. The goal is to look behind the curtain every day. When I was a kid, they told me no. I thought they were stupid because I realized they didn't know how to do it. So instead of telling them they don't know how, they said no. It made no sense to me. So let's stay safe, strong, and do our best while Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. So at the end of the day, right now, the office shuts down in less than 30 minutes. If I was you, I'd be calling that number 800-254-9506. They might even have to guide you through the Zelle now. The ultimate goal is to help everybody rebuild their lives my way, because I think their way brought the pain home, and I didn't like that. It made sense. It didn't make sense to me. So today, we have the ability to play the game and win. We do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. And never forget, at the end of the day, God loves us all.